All right. Hello again, everyone. We are back playing another adventure. Another episode in this adventure for the Federal Bureau of Control 1968. I am once again joined by my not dead yet Section C members. And we are continuing right after last session's. I wouldn't call it a cliffhanger exactly, more of just sort of a sheer cliff face. Where, just to jog everyone's memory, the lamp was brought back to the oldest house. Both Ada and Cullen involved with Dr. Sweet, not romantically or anything, were beginning to experiment on the lamp to try to find out, what its nature was and what it had possibly done to Daniel Hammacher. Someone, and we're not going to name names here. Someone on the team just ran kind of headlong at the problem, and eventually figured out that Daniel Hammacher had been whisked away to some kind of vacation by this strange spectral being that was conjured by the lamp whenever you put a light bulb into it, right? Essentially acting as some kind of strange Western djinn sort of figure, right? In the process of that, again, this person who shall not be named had Daniel Hammacher's whole life experience just jammed in his brain, and was able to figure out sort of this information. And Dr. Sweet, in an exasperated and yet still exhilarated kind of a situation, went out to get hazmat suits for everybody so they could actually, proceed in the next step of maybe saving Daniel Hammacher, or at the very least experimenting more with the lamp and seeing where they could go. So that's where we are right now. Reese and Agent Plum, will you two remind me of where you are right now? Because you kind of got lost in the middle of that episode.
I think we just left off with we were outside the shop. Continued after that.
I'm pretty sure we were planning to get into a cab and go back to the oldest house.
I think, if I remember correctly, you had gotten in the cab.
I think so.
Yes, another important thing to remind everyone of. Apparently, these New York Police Department figures, both on the beat and back in the precinct, had never heard of a Detective Porter Amano.
Well, they had at one point, and then they hadn't.
Right. Well, now they had not heard of it, implying some kind of psychic hoodwinking or something to that effect, where either the memory had been deleted or maybe Amano was never there to begin with.
Some hootenannies going on.
Yeah. So we begin back at the oldest house, in the paranormal department. We are let's see here. So we're back in the parapsychology department. We're back in the same room where we met Ada and had that blood drawn and everything like that. That same sort of place covered with chalkboards and loose scraps of paper and those injection molded kind of chairs. Very quickly, Ada and Cullen, you see the sort of frazzled form of Dr. Sweet back into the door and into the room, using sort of her back as to kind of jimmy the door open. And she is clutching several proper hazmat suits, these large sort of orange fabricked get-ups with these sort of plastic glass kind of face masks and everything like that. The full body kind of I've done something with the CDC kind of gear. And she comes in and sort of dumps those on a nearby desk. All right. So we have a limited supply of these, but I have enough for each member of Section C, provided that your compatriots join us at some point. Now, we have already seen this being manifest from this object of power, and so it's important, I think, both for safety protocols, for the well, to be frank, the legal liability of the Federal Bureau of Control, and my general peace of mind for you to wear these hazmat suits while you are interacting with the lamp. You should have done so already, but, well, we'll just call it just a beginner's waffle. Just, you're new agents and you don't exactly know the protocol. And so I think legally I can't be held responsible. So, now, Mr. KEERSE, are you still okay? Your head is fine now? All right, Ada, let's talk to you. Now,
All right.
now I think
KEERSE needs some time to recover.
indeed he's going to need a full physical and a psychological screening after this is done, of course. Now, if you would please, if you'll pop behind one of the desks here, you can even go outside into the hall and put on one of those orange suits that's so smart, and we'll get ready with our next phase.
All right.
It's
Grab one off the table and head out into the hall.
It's about this time, Reese and Agent Plum, that your cab pulls up outside the oldest house. You see the driver kind of, hooks his arm on the back seat, on the back of his seat, and turns around. Yeah, here you go. Can I ask you two a question? I don't want to be nosy or anything, but you got something going on in this empty lot, or?
Oh, I see. I had a question though before.
Okay, what's your question?
Did the other police officer take the intruder from the shop?
Yes, the one
Okay.
uniformed officer that had gone inside had been attending to the the body.
Still alive?
Yeah,
The somehow still breathing corpse.
somehow, yeah.
Because if they hadn't taken custody, I would have tried to take custody of him.
No,
Take him to
the local PD has taken care of that, and a couple of days from now, you can check in the obits and see if there's, a random criminal sort of posted in there. But otherwise, fingers crossed. Hope he's okay.
Okay, thank you. Oh, this is just a easy place to get off. We can just jog to our destination.
And I'm still in my kind of blonde,
Disguise.
shoulder-length hair businesswoman garb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to unbutton the top button of my button-down shirt, wink at the cab driver, and get out.
He kind of takes a moment, kind of rubs his face. Have you say Toots? Lets you out. Speeds away. This happens to be the single hour in New York traffic. It's obviously late, where you can actually, drive, as opposed to sort of assume your position and then get occasionally nudged like a
wave,
like a malfunctioning slot car machine. Yeah, so the two of you are right outside the oldest house.
As soon as he exits what I know to be kind of the radius around that kind of has the the perception filter, I guess if we want to use Doctor Who terminology.
Sure. I mean, yeah,
I'm going.
That's fair.
My posture is. I'm going to stop running the assimilation.exe and instantly go back to just extremely rigid posture.
Well,
Shall we
let's see
head
what the other
inside?
two have been up to. Open the door and walk in.
okay. So you head
I will follow.
inside. You make your way through the lobby. You see in Central Executive, as you're making your way deeper inside, you see Dr. Magro, who you very briefly saw, if memory serves, in the parapsychology lab, making his way in the opposite direction. It looks like he's going back towards the lobby. He's got what looks like an egg salad sandwich in his hand. He's got his jacket off and just the tie and the shirt and everything like that. And he's just sort of nomming on that. And he sees the two of you approach, and he's, hold on a second. Yeah. So, Dr. Sweet, there's something going on down in parapsychology. No, look, I'm on my break, obviously, and he kind of waggles the sandwich at you. But you might want to head down there. I think some of your boys are in there, and they, I heard some yelling and, spooky shit. So you might want to go down there and figure something out. Let me know if you need anything. And he kind of takes a moment and then looks at the sandwich for a moment. I'll send somebody else down to take care of it. But I don't want you to think that we're not completely supportive of you, right? Okay.
Might I ask a quick question?
No, wait.
To your knowledge, are there any other agencies outside of the Federal Bureau of Control who may be interested in acquiring altered items?
I don't fucking know.
Would that be a question for the director? Or Mr. Songvi?
Yeah, sure. Sounds like it. Yeah, you kicked out up the chain.
Thank you for your assistance. Enjoy your egg sandwich.
Yeah, no problem. And he goes,
And I'm going to begin removing my disguise and all that because I'm not allowed to be disguised inside the building.
Meanwhile, back at the parapsychology lab. So, Ada, you are now suited up in this orange hazmat suit. The breath sort of making a little bit of condensation fog on the inside of the plastic face shielding. You see,
I have crawled behind the lead wall.
Oh, good. Dr. Sweet is she's out kind of adjusting your suit, making sure that everything is sealed and properly fitted and everything. She is adjusting a glove that you have on. All right, so are you able to hear me?
Give a thumbs up.
Good. Right. Now, you have an option, Ada. I don't want to simply throw you to the scientific wolves, if you will. You have an option here. One, you can go in as sort of a reconnaissance mission. We'll dispatch you alone, mind you, to interact with the lamp any further. Or you can wait for support from the rest of the team. It's completely up to you. I don't want to push you one way or the other.
Gonna kind of look over at Cullen. I think I've got an idea of what I need to do. I'll try to do some scouting, see if we can kind of get a foot in the door, or maybe just kick it wide open. We'll see how this goes.
And
I'm going to walk over towards the lamp.
So you can see Dr. Sweet, as you glance back, she's very quickly sort of like, not sprinting, but sort of like very quickly, power walking behind the lead wall. And so you begin to approach the lamp. Just as you get within sort of, arm's length of the lamp, the door to the parapsychology lab opens, and we have Agent Plum and Reese coming in through the door. Dr. Sweet immediately looks towards the door, sees the two of you approach, Reese and Plum, and immediately
I see we have the hazardous material suits on. I see it's a real party here.
Reese, shut up.
Just like turn around. You're just like
Nope.
Very quickly, Dr. Sweet kind of looks around, checks on you, Ada, make sure that you're still, intact, right? And then looks back at Reese and Plum, and very quickly, come here.
I just very casually walk over.
Yeah, I'm going to also unhurriedly walk over, grab one of the hazmat suits off the desk, and bring it back behind the partition.
Speed it up. Yes, thank you. All right, and she kind of not roughly, but just a little bit forcefully makes sure that the two of you are well behind the lead wall. Now, Ada has volunteered to interact with this lamp. I'm sorry, you weren't here for the initial experiment. Long story short, the lamp is host to some kind of spectral being which acts as a kind of, the trope would be a sort of a djinn or genie of some kind, fulfilling wishes. And we are using Ada as a guinea pig. Well, excuse me, Ada has volunteered as a scientific explorer, I should say, to figure out if we can pinpoint what has happened to Daniel Hamaker, and we've of course provided her a hazmat suit for her safety. Now, Reese, you don't have to don the hazmat suit unless you want to. You are of course not biological per se, and so you may not be affected in the same way as our friend Ada.
But it is also an opportunity to wear a costume while being within the rules and regulations.
Sure, whatever makes you happy, Reese. Now,
I'm going to immediately begin donning the hazmat suit.
Very good, great. Now you, Mr. Plum, you put one on immediately.
How do I put this thing on?
It's like a onesie. It's like a jumper. You put your legs in and then zip it up. It's not hard. Look at what Reese is doing.
Do like the look over, try to mimic. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm just like reaching for that zipper.
Turn around. There we are. Now, the two of you, since... Oh, shut up, Cullen.
Do you require medical attention, Cullen?
Don't mind him. He interacted with the lamp without my approval or the proper safety precautions.
You were taking too long.
Yes, because...
So this is what happens when you don't wear the suit?
Because scientific endeavors need to be rushed, because that's the way you get the best results and the best knowledge.
I'm not a scientist.
That's very clear, Mr. KEERSE.
Although
I'm going to peek around. I'm going to peek around the partition real quick. Ada, would you like any support or comfort as you endeavor on your reconnaissance mission?
Now, thankfully...
I am rubbing the lamp.
Now, thankfully, these hazmat suits do have a kind of local, almost like a walkie-talkie kind of frequency thing built into them. So the people who are wearing the hazmat suits can very easily communicate with each other. You're hearing them as if they are just talking right next to you, right? So
I'm basically peeking around the corner like this.
So Ada, you do hear this as you're beginning to rub the lamp.
No, I've got this.
Best of luck to you.
It's okay, thank you. Get inside.
Thanks, Reese.
Now, Reese, if you would please, since you have a direct line. Reese! Since
Yes.
you have a direct line, tell Ada that in order to
What happened to being quiet?
put the light bulb in the socket in order to make it happen.
Ada, Dr. Sweet has informed me that you must actually put a light bulb into the socket for the djinn to appear.
All right.
And rubbing it does nothing.
Give me a second. Is the old light bulb piece still in there?
The old, the shattered sort of, the base and the shattered glass is still in that, yeah.
All right. I'm removing the old one. Try to twist that out.
It's a little, you got to apply a little bit of force, but it comes out just like a standard kind of light bulb. It seems like that the socket itself is not kind of rusty or difficult in any way. You're just able to screw it out.
Don't cut the fingertips.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, give me a dexterity check.
Sure.
Not like lead lined or anything.
Let's see. Dex is +2. Ooh, 19.
All right.
Magic fingers.
Yeah, so you deftly, avoiding the glass that's been shattered. It's now on the desk and still on the floor. You're sort of able to move around that and delicately remove the remains of the light bulb.
Trying to remember. I think there was another light bulb down here or in the desk.
So you don't see any immediately nearby. You remember that Dr. Sweet mentioned that they were going to have to get another one somewhere. So Dr. Sweet, Reese, Plum, you see Dr. Sweet look over past the partition, the wall, and so she kind of makes her way, and she's actually sort of like, hostage situation, crouching, and sort of darts her way across the room to a separate desk, and you see her opening up a drawer and removing one of those like cardboardy paper 4 light bulbs in one packages, and she's very quickly takes one out, and then she again,
my hand.
and then she very quickly she does the same sort of hostage situation, crouch and run, and she shows it to both of you, Reese and Plum, and points towards Ada, and then just holds it out.
This is
Grab
all
it.
very amusing.
Just take it and just walk over.
So, Ada, you feel the vibrations. Sorry, got a little marky mark for a second there.
Dum, 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 dum.
Okay. Anyway, come on. Sorry. So you feel the vibrations of somebody coming up next to you, and you see to your left that Plum has a fresh light bulb handy. Behind him, you can see at a distance that Reese is there also in hazmat suit.
All right. Do you think we should get CULAN in a suit for this, or are we just going
Behind the
ahead?
wall, he should be okay, right?
I'm going to go
Sure.
over to him and kind of kneel down to get face level. Would you like a suit, Cullen?
Cullen, all you're able to hear is like like Charlie Brown's teacher.
I will
just kinda
take that
open
as a
my
yes.
mouth like,
I'm going to go over to the desk, take the last remaining suit, And if he does not resist, I'm just going to start like gently putting him in the suit.
I'm not gonna resist. My brain is. I'm just too tired for any of this shit. I'm just like, all right.
And before I put the helmet on, I'm going to give him two gentle but affirming pats on the head.
Like trying to fit a very tired toddler into a flannel pajamas.
Boy. Be a little
At this
messy.
point in time, now that you all can hear me properly, I'm going to.
Can we mute? Is there...
Doesn't seem to be any mute function. No, it just comes in.
If we're both talking at the same time, do we both not go through?
No, you hear. I mean, everything comes through at
That's-
once.
All right, gonna start inserting the bulb, twist it in place.
And you're as soon as it, you feel that sort of last bit of resistance, as you know that it's sort of fully screwed in, the light bulb turns on again, this kind of cyan color, and there's a brilliant flash of cyan blue light. It's intense, and so because of your proximity, you have to sort of shield your eyes a little bit. The plastic cover of your face provides a little bit of diffraction, but otherwise it's pretty bright. So you taking a moment, that dies down, and then sure enough, the blue smoky form of this balding middle-aged fellow with the cigar and the patchy suit appears again. He takes a big drag of the cigar, and he says, "What can I offer you this fine afternoon?"
We would like you to help FBC Section C return Daniel Hamacher to this plane of existence in his own body, in good health of body, mind, and spirit.
Takes another drag of a cigar, exhales, and there's a sort of a blue puff of smoke. And that puff of smoke starts to get larger and larger and larger. It is filling the room. Now there is a sort of a thick, wispy, well, those are oxymorons. A thick smoke is beginning to billow, like someone had turned on sort of a community theater fog machine. And it is sort of wafting inside the room, filling the entire room. And you hear through the sort of the thick blue smoke, you hear the voice say, "Done." And the whole place, the whole parapsychology lab, fills with blue smoke. You hear, just for a moment, Dr. Sweet kind of cry out in surprise before it gets eerily silent in the room. You find that each of you individually, with the exception of PLUM, because you're right next to Ada, you can't see another soul in this room. That's how thick the smoke is. CULAN, you can't see anybody. Reese, you can't see anybody. Ada, all you can see is PLUM, and vice versa. And then, after about a few seconds, the smoke slowly starts to dissolve, to dissipate, right? It doesn't leave the room, but it instead begins to get thinner and thinner and thinner. And the four of you find yourselves inexplicably on this seemingly infinite stretch of Tahitian-style beach. This fine, white, undisturbed sand. You can see these clear, similarly cyan-colored waters stretching to the horizon to the east. You see, again, miles after miles of coconut trees, classically asleep at the waist. And you see that it looks like it's just beginning to turn into evening. There's a kind of a dark blue sort of quality. It looks like the sun is beginning to set. And if it weren't for, well, this whole sort of expanse looks picturesque in a way that Condé Nast and sort of travel log magazines and everything could never even hope to sell a beach with. I mean, this is pristine and beautiful, with the exception of the giant swirling blue-purple column of storm that you see about 60 feet north of you along the beach. It's this massive sort of twisting column of blue-purple storm, kind of, you see clouds and what looks like lightning, and it's like a concentrated tube of hurricane level weather.
If it's that close, is it like super windy around us as well?
No,
Or is it just
you
This is
see
the most exciting moment of my entire consciousness.
I kind of pick myself up off the floor.
yeah, you're
Ugh.
able to have to kind of brush some sand off of your butt.
Ugh. Fuck.
Hanging in there, Cullen.
Fuck. As I look at the storm, I just start cussing again. Just. Oi, what the fuck did you all do? Oh, hi Reese. Hi Plum. Ugh.
We're getting Daniel back.
You couldn't just wish him back here?
might have been out when she tried that. This is the result.
Alright.
Well, the most obviously paranatural thing happening is that storm. I rather want to approach.
Hey, alright, fuck it, let's go. And I just start, like, trudging towards it.
Yeah, with these hazmat suits on, it's a little kind of awkward to make your way, along the sand. You find yourself kind of like there's a little bit of kind of off-kilter steps, feet kind of going a little bit too far into the sand. I mean, it's a little bit kind of awkward. But otherwise, as I pointed out to Lance, the weather is perfect. It seems like a beautiful, picturesque evening on a Tahitian beach, with the exception of this column of incredible storm.
I'm going to kind of like high knee march, almost skipping excitedly towards the storm.
Yeah. As you approach, Reese, you can feel that there doesn't seem to be. You'd expect gale force winds coming off of this column of storm, but you feel nothing sort of affecting your suit other than sort of, the simple sea breeze. You also realize as you're approaching the storm closer that there doesn't seem to be any sound coming from it. It's taken a minute or two for everybody to adjust. But the fact is that this beach is, apart from sort of the natural lapping of the waves and the occasional sort of brushing of a coconut tree, frond in the wind, there is no kind of sound of storm or danger sort of going on. It's this weirdly quiet, twisting kind of maelstrom.
Is there other signs of life, like birds or anything?
Not that you can immediately spot. You don't see any other people. You do see the occasional sort of what looks like a small constructed, not quite a hut, but not quite a proper building. It looks like a
little
place,
shack.
like some kind of, the kinds of shacks that you would see periodically on sort of tourist beaches that are meant to sort of like either act as a kind of like a changing place or somewhere to like hole up in during, storm weather or something. You see that periodically down the beach. And again, this beach stretches for what seems like forever in both directions. Looking forward, obviously you can't see much beyond this column of storm, but behind you, the beach goes on forever.
If nothing stops me, I'd like to stop like right at the precipice of the storm and try to peer into it.
It is much like the blue smoke that sort of took you here. It's so thick, and the clouds and sort of the lightning and everything like that is so sort of swirling and viscous that you're unable to see into it. You just see it kind of in front of you.
I am going to walk around to the other side of it.
Okay, so you make your way around the sort of the radius of the thing, right? And you see that on the other side, it looks roughly the same as it does in the other sort of location. It seems to be not uniform, but it's clear that it has carved out this considerable amount of kind of circular space, right?
And behind it, I don't see Mr. Homaker or anything like that.
No, you see more stretch of white sandy beach, and again, the occasional sort of kind of palm-fronded shack.
Okay. I'll walk back around to Reese and stick my left hand into the maelstrom.
Okay. What I need you to do now, Cullen, I need you to make a will save. A wisdom save, excuse me.
Oh, hell yeah. Wisdom save. All right. Got a +5 to that. 13.
13. Okay. Let's see. So you stick your left hand in there. You take it out.
Left hand out.
Yeah, we were getting there.
It's the perfect party song, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stick your left hand in, and then you die.
Wait, what?
No, you do feel, however, this strange numbing sensation, which is counterintuitive because you've got the suit on, but you feel as if the blood is sort of has drained from your hand, and it's as if, you know, it's been sort of, you've fallen asleep on it for quite a long time. And there's a kind of a sharp kind of pins and needles sort of feeling that accompanies that. You take 4 damage. 4 force damage, I should say.
Okay.
Do you feel anything?
My arm just went asleep. Ah, shit.
Through this suit?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Does that mean we don't need the suits anymore?
Yeah, that's exactly what that means. Yeah. Just strip naked and just...
Hello, Daniel Hallmacher. Anyone? Are you in there?
Reese, no one can hear you outside the suit.
Oh, good point. Hello, Daniel Hallmacher. Anyone? Are you in there?
So, Reese, you sort of call out now that you've removed... Have you removed the suit entirely, or have you just sort of...
Just the helmet.
Okay.
Just the headpiece.
Yeah. So you call out, other than, you feel the sea breeze on your face. It's actually very pleasant. You call out, but you get no response.
I'm just going to kind of look over to Colin. I love it here. This is wonderful.
I'm just gonna unzip the thing. I already experienced this thing full force. What?
Reese, if you put your hand in, do you feel the same sensation?
I don't have the helmet on, so...
Well, that's all you
The
hear
helmet's
coming
still,
from
like,
her.
resting on your shoulder?
Oi,
Probably be.
Reese,
I'm sorry. I cannot hear you. Your voice is very muffled, Ada.
Reese, just stick your hand in there and see what happens.
Interesting.
So, Reese, you pop your hand in there. Now we need to ask some important lore questions. First of which is, since you are an automaton, Reese, how much do you feel in terms of, sensory feedback, right?
I would get the full experience, because
Okay.
I'm made to pass for human as much as possible.
All right. So not merely visually or form wise, but also experientially as well.
Yeah, I basically have a facsimile of nerves. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. So you stick your hand in. You feel this numbing sensation. You feel sort of a pins and needles feeling.
Oh my goodness, it's fascinating.
And you take 2 force damage.
Oh my. I'm going to take my hand out. Is that what it feels like? Huh.
Yeah, it's.
I've never quite been in a weird posture before.
It would be kind of hard for you to fall asleep on your limbs. Huh.
Yeah, it basically feels like I put the hood up so I can talk to you guys. Like it basically feels like you fall asleep on your arm.
That is good sensory data. I will know now for the future what pins and needles refers to.
All right, gonna unzip, take the helmet off, and then kind of look towards Plum and be like, do the same.
Looks like everyone's doing it. Take it off.
Peer pressure.
Now everyone has the helmets off, but otherwise the rest of the hazmat suits on. You feel the sea breeze. You hear the crashing of the waves and the gentle wind, and again this swirling maelstrom in front of you.
My hand tingled.
I guess that's good. No differences between us.
I mean, it did hurt a little bit as well, and I can tell that my total performance has dropped very slightly. But overall, it was a good experience.
All right.
Glad you
Good
had that
to know.
experience.
Good for you.
Did you feel anything inside?
Like
Feel
emotionally?
anything, touch anything? Sure.
I mean, I don't really feel like I'm all here, to be honest. You know. Oh, you meant inside the maelstrom.
I mean, that's probably a legitimate question too.
It didn't really feel like there was anything in there to begin with. I mean, I only stuck up to my elbow.
The way I see it, we have 3 options. 1, head straight into the ocean to see what happens. 2, check out one of the nearest huts, see what might be inside. Or 3, attach a rope to one of us and go fully into the maelstrom.
Do you have any rope?
I
I was
do.
thinking 3.
I mean,
I'm gonna
do
go
2
for one of
first,
those
but
huts.
I didn't know
Yeah.
if we actually had any rope on us.
I would like to trudge over to one of the huts.
I will follow.
Okay, Cullen and Reese, you make your way to the nearest sort of shack structure. You get onto the sort of porch, the sort of kind of slightly raised porch sort of construction made out of what looks like lacquered driftwood. You get up inside, and there's, funnily enough, in a kind of weird, kitschy kind of fashion, there's not a door to the shack, but there is a bead curtain. And you're able to sort of kind of push that out of the way and see inside.
I've read about these.
And you see inside that it seems to be a decently furnished, like it appears to be kind of a living room style. There is a sort of a large kind of a couch made out of a kind of a wicker kind of material. There are a couple of sort of footstools, and there's a small end table. And you can see that on the sort of coffee style table that's in front of the wicker couch, you can see what looks like a gun. No, you can see what looks like a Panama style hat, just sort of resting there on the coffee style table.
If there seems to be no immediate danger, I'm making a beeline for that hat.
Yeah, there's it seems to be pretty empty. Like it just, doesn't seem to be anybody inside. So Reese, you make your way to the hat.
Is there any sign that like someone was living here besides like the hat?
You want to give me a investigation check, perhaps?
Sure. That is a 20, not natural.
Okay. So you do a kind of a quick sort of tour of the room while Reese is, haberdashering, right? You see that there is a still smoking cigarette butt inside one of the little grooves of an ashtray that is on one of the end tables. And you can see what looks like from the general kind of air in the room, you smell, now that you're sort of filtering out the kind of ocean smell and everything like that, the sea salt and all that, you get that same cigarette smoke and what smells like, it's some kind of fruit scent. You can't quite put your finger on it right now, but it's some kind of fruity sort of natural scent.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
Because CULAN is basically Daniel Hamaker, is this something that I would have done? Like, is this the type of cigarettes Hamaker smokes? Is it the fruit scents that he uses?
Well, Daniel Hamaker's memories, when you were scrubbing through them earlier, seem to have ended as after he sort of blacked out after requesting the vacation accidentally from the being, right? But otherwise, none of this seems familiar to either you or to Daniel Hamaker.
Oh, no, sorry. Not that his memories would have indicated this scene specifically, but, like, is this some...
Deja vu.
Is it, like, sort of like, would he have placed the cigarette the way he did because that's just the way he does it? Is this fruit scent something he uses on a regular basis that's familiar?
No.
Does Daniel Hamaker even smoke?
Daniel Hamaker does not smoke, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
Been a dream of his, though.
Yeah.
Always wanted to smoke.
Always wanted to, but never quite
Sit
got
on
around to it.
vacation only.
Yeah.
Is this canon?
I've always wanted Fruity Pebble cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I want to try that now.
They're really branching out.
I mean, they probably had a
I believe
vape
that's
of
called
it.
vaping.
Yeah, what you're describing is vaping.
No, but with tobacco leaves, it'd be way different.
I mean, I think they used to have a lot of different flavored tobacco, but then they banned that. So.
Sure.
Probably smart.
Not in
Anyway,
1968, baby.
That's true. I'm gonna turn to Reese and say, Daniel Hallmarker don't smoke.
Meanwhile, I'm going to pick up the hat, inspect underneath it, and inspect inside it. And if it doesn't look like there's anything that there's in danger, I'm just going to put it onto my bald, no eyebrow head.
Okay, so you place it on your head. You feel a slight, a very slight moisture in the sort of inner band inside the Panama hat. But other than that...
this hat was worn recently.
Other than that, it fits, pretty well.
How do you know that?
There is evidence of sweat on the inner rim.
We're not on the comms anymore.
Yep.
Is there a bedroom near outside of what we're currently, or is this just it?
This seems to be just the one sort of rather spacious, but the singular room.
Okay. I guess I'll walk out then, and walk back over to Ada and Plum.
I'll follow, grinning ear to ear in my new hat.
Who's that belong to?
Me.
I don't know.
Assuming no one claims it, it's a souvenir.
I think while those two were in the hut, Ada was probably going to go over and just kind of check out the water.
Okay, sure.
Kind of wade maybe foot deep into it.
You dip your toes in, you make your way in, you sort of get a scoop of the water, you take a look at it. It appears, at least at first glance, that it's simple sort of ocean water. It's salt water. You can even see what looks like sort of in the immediate area, what looks like very small sort of occasional fish or minnow of some kind of making their way through.
Wow. This is the perfect vacation.
More of a mountain person myself.
Have to be difficult.
Well, anything inside the hut? Outside of the hat?
There's evidence of recent habitation.
Hammaker don't smoke,
That's-
so it doesn't look like him though.
Do you think other people wanted vacations?
Blame them.
What about that guy who we were chasing and before the blue flash in the break-in?
Good
I
point.
think his name was Harry. I believe that is the name that the person that Cullen shot near to death used.
Oh,
So
he
we should be
died.
ready.
What do you think's in the maelstrom? We want to try that rope idea.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I think
volunteering,
somebody's got to
Tom.
go in.
Meanwhile, I'm just going to kind of look around and just kind of shout, Harry! Harry! Is that your name? Are you here?
Can you imitate that other guy's voice?
Oh, yes. And I literally have an ability that lets me just automatically do it without a skill check.
I assume so.
So I can't remember exactly out of game what his voice sounded like, so.
Sure.
Harry! Hey, Harry! You out here, man? Lost track of you, but now I'm in this weird situation.
A couple of seconds pass by. There doesn't seem to be any response to your calling out, Reese. But then, what's everybody's passive perception, by the way?
15.
I think we all had 15s, if I remember
Oh, is that the
correctly.
joke? Yeah, or
Yeah,
there's
maybe.
something like that. Yeah. So everyone hears what sounds like a pretty clumsy stumbling out through the undergrowth and the sort of the tree line, just on the western side of the beach. So if you're looking at it, we've got beach, and then on the one side is the ocean, and on the other side is this sort of thick tree line. This is behind where these shacks are placed. You see stumbling out with a sort of a thick Robinson Crusoe-ass beard and sort of matted, long, dangly hair, wearing what looks like a torn leather jacket, a sort of a tank top, right? Or, excuse me, a wife beater. Well, whatever the other word for that is, I'm sorry. That's
an A shirt or something.
Yeah, that's...
A white, thin tank top.
Yes, that thing. The Marlon Brando special. That and what looks like sort of torn, sandy jeans of some kind. No shoes. Stumbling out and clutching what looks like a makeshift spear. It appears to be some long, sort of jagged piece of driftwood that what looks like a pretty large kind of sharp rock has been sort of lashed to the end. This thing comes out. It's a human man wearing this clothing. At least that's what it appears. And you see him very slowly kind of peeking out towards you.
Yo, is that you, Harry? Is that you right over there?
Craig?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the hell this strange thing that blue thing came out of the lamp. I mean, I don't know what it did to me. I look totally different. But like, I'm here What happened to you? You look terrible.
You gotta go, Craig. You can't stay here. It's bad.
What's going on, Harry? Come on out here. We're better
Hey,
through
hey,
numbers. I met these guys on the road.
Just you stay where you are. All of you.
Probably like fishing for my gun, realizing it's like on the inside of my suit.
Yeah.
I'm like fishing my arm, kind of.
You don't know. You gotta leave.
No, we don't know anything. We just got here.
You gotta get out of here.
What's going on, Harry? Talk plain.
What? You see him sort of peer, kind of very clearly, sort of kind of focus his vision. It's clear that he's in some kind of mental state. Not a fugue exactly, but there's some kind of, bizarre kind of confusion across his face. He sort of narrows his eyes. You're not Craig.
I know, I told you. When I came through the portal, it did something weird to me. I don't look anything like myself.
You see him sort of like, again, do this kind of crouch, sort of Lord of the Flies-esque kind of jutting the spear out in defense. You don't come in. You stay where you are. You don't come any closer to me.
Put down the goddamn spear. We'll get a smoke or one of them fruity cigarettes you're liking. I assume that's your cabin? We saw it earlier. There's a cigarette in there, just lit.
Reese.
Come on.
I would like you to roll either deception or persuasion, whichever you feel is more appropriate.
I have a +7 bonus to both, so I don't really mind which.
Okay.
That's a 25.
Okay. So you can see that several sort of thoughts cross Harry's face. It's kind of difficult to see through all the sort of the dirt and the mattedness and the incredible facial hair. But you see him very quickly, again, kind of peer at you. And either partly because you've convinced him with your sort of straight street talk, and partly because he seems just on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion, he just sort of takes the spear and kind of juts it, sort of blade up into the sand, and then just sort of begins to shuffle towards you.
What's got you so scared? I mean, come on. It's just me, three other guys, two other guys, one chick. I mean, what's going on?
He shuffles over, and then he sort of like grabs you by the shoulders, Reese, and sort of clings onto you. It's very clear that he's powered by adrenaline and probably the remains of a coconut that he ate hours ago. He is just sort of like ragged. There's so much I want to tell you. I can't. How'd you get here?
Some weird blue guy came out of the lamp when this chick over here had the bright idea to put a light bulb in it. And just somebody said something, I don't even know what anymore, and we just wound up here.
There's a moment of silence, and then Harry begins sort of openly, like a cranky infant, just starts weeping. And he sort of collapses onto his knees, and he's hugging Reese. You're sort of like your midsection, right?
I would like to make an insight check real quick, because based on not on him, but based on the very short interaction we had with Craig before we got into a very brief altercation with him, does he seem like the type that would hug back in support, or does he seem like the type that would slap the guy in the face and tell him to snap out of it?
Give me an insight check.
Also the 60s.
Yep.
That's a 17.
Repress.
You have a pretty firm notion that Craig would not even allow Harry to touch him, much less go for the full sort of waist hug he's got going on here.
I'm gonna push him off and go, "Get off me, you damn baby! Just spit it out, will ya?"
He's sort of now he's kind of fallen over into the sand. He's kind of in a sort of vaguely fetal position. My monster's in there, and there's no food. And
Monsters, what the hell are you talking about?
no, I couldn't find anybody, and I didn't want to go home.
How long you been here, Harry?
He kind of sort of vigorously
You
shakes
look
his
like
head.
shit.
He can't seem to answer that.
Well, looks like monsters in the woods, boys.
All right.
They come out at night, or when do they come?
Mostly.
He's sort of like clutching his knees now and just sort of like trying to curl up inside the sand. He's just again sort of continuing to weep and doesn't seem to be very responsive.
All right, let's pick him up. Let's get him in his feckin' cabin. Better
I'll
here
grab
than in
him
the
by one of
sand,
his
I
arms,
guess.
lift him up a bit.
I'll grab the other one of his arms.
And I'm just gonna grab him by the back of his shirt and lift him up, help lift him up that way, just keeping the character on.
I'll just grab the spear.
So you lead Harry back into the sort of the nearest shack, and you plop him down on the wicker couch, and he sort of immediately sort of lies down and like curls up, and is essentially just trying to keep himself together. He's actively vibrating now. That's how it's clear that he's been through some kind of heavily traumatic incident, and only now is it kind of catching up with him.
Can one of you snap him out of it? We need to get him to talk.
I'm gonna step outside. See what's in the brush. I take out my pistol.
Yeah, I'm gonna begin
Inside my
taking off
coat.
my suit so I have easy access to my weapons as well.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'll
gonna.
tag along, Cullen. I don't think I'm going to be useful in here.
All right, let's hit it. I'm just gonna take off my suit at this point in time and just walk out into the sand.
So
I'll join you for that.
Cullen, you and Ada make your way outside of the shack and sort of trace around and back towards the tree line. You've got your gun ready, Cullen. You can see, again, the way that the underbrush is and the trees and everything like that, it's pretty thick. You can see sort of, and again, because of the light situation, it's hard to see much of anything out there other than, foliage.
Feels like it's coming right out of one of those pulp horrors.
Seriously. Let's go in a little bit.
All right. I
You
guess
got that
we
rope?
don't want to lose sight of the shore, but yeah.
You got that rope?
What rope?
Didn't one of you say we have rope? Tie a rope around their waist,
don't
put
think
it around the tree, and then we can follow it in, and only a little bit in, and come out.
I mean, we've got these two orange suits. They're pretty easy to see. Bet if we hang them up in the tree, they'll be easy to spot.
Well, let's do that.
Okay. So Ada, you make your way over to one of the coconut trees and kind of like rig up one of the suits in there as a kind of like a makeshift signal.
Yeah.
And so the two of you actively sort of make your way through the tree line. Okay. So you begin to take a couple of sort of initial steps. You make your way inside. As soon as you cross the sort of the borderline between the beach and sort of the foliage line, right? The foliage area, right? You begin to feel a slight sort of tension in your bodies, as if as if your muscles were slightly clenched.
Kind
And
of
that-
like a rising kind of sensation.
Sort of like a full body, like, kind of clench, right? Not as sort of severe as that, but you can feel a kind of a tightness throughout your body.
You just get a sense of dread.
Yeah. Chill down the spine.
It's uncomfortable, but not painful.
Well, I think this place is telling us we're in danger.
I should probably head back to the beach.
Come back here with the other two. Yeah.
Let's go.
So you make a couple more feet backwards. You head back to the beach. So, Cullen, you just don't have the suit. You both don't have suits on, right?
Correct.
Okay. Both of you notice, sort of as you make your way back, you take a look. Are you going to leave the hazmat suit there in the tree, or? Okay.
Yeah. I'll leave mine up there.
So you kind of take a look at each other, and you see that both of you looking at each other, Cullen looking at Ada, Ada looking at Cullen, there's a kind of a paleness about your features that wasn't there before. You look slightly tired, kind of unhealthy, as if you'd not been in the sun for a little while. And there's something about each other's appearance that's not quite right. It's hard to put your finger on it just kind of looking at each other.
Is that kind of like pause a moment, eye contact, squint just a little bit, and then head back and pick up the suit and start putting that back on again?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start putting my suit back on again.
Just kind of like paranoidly throwing an eye at Cullen every now and again.
Meanwhile, in the shack, so Reese, Plum, you are over the sort of the weeping, curled form of Harry.
So yeah, I'm in the process of taking off my suit. I'm gonna take out my my high caliber autoloader pistol, set it on the table in front of me. Then I'm gonna reach behind and pull out my break action shot pistol and put it on the table in front of me. Well, if the monsters, things might start to get a bit hairy. Like this guy, but with an eye.
He has two eyes.
Still has two eyes. That's good.
Yeah. the normal number of eyes. So again,
Any, like,
Harry seems to be kind of just tuning everything out. He's in he's an anxiety shock kind of coma.
is there any drinkable water nearby? Or anything?
There's what looks like a pitcher of some kind of tepid water, probably, that's on a nearby sort of cabinet.
Smell it to make sure it's not like urine or anything.
It's not urine. It's very clear. So if it is urine, it's exceptionally well hydrated urine.
Try to get him to like drink some.
You see him
Harry,
sort of like,
that is.
he kind of like weakly kind of pause, like, He's not interested.
What have you seen out there?
No response.
I'm gonna kind of take a closer, kind of snoopier look around this place, like look in the drawers or any cabinets there might be, check under furniture, just see if there's any other evidence of other stuff, like check the baseboards and the walls, all that kind of thing.
Okay, so you make you do a sort of trace of the room. You open up the occasional drawer and everything. You don't seem to see anything. I mean, it's all empty. The cabinet is sort of like that sort of wardrobe style. You open that up and you see that there is what looks like a fresh change of clothes, folded, and on the bottom sort of shelf, sort of towards the bottom of the wardrobe. There is a folded set of tan pants, suit pants. It looks like there's a white shirt and a pair of socks. Sort of dress socks. You again sort of continue to sweep the room, and as far as you can see, that seems to be the only thing that's in the room that is of any substance. Everything else is either empty or it's filled with the occasional sort of like coconut tree, like palm frond piece, or a dead bug or something to that effect. Like, it's otherwise pretty empty.
I'm going to take the clothes out then, and I'm just going to kind of take them over, kind of just slap them on the table. Let's see if we can get them dressed, cleaned up a little bit. Maybe it'll make them feel better or something.
Okay, so the two of you, why don't you give me athletics checks? Because Harry is not, a Kate Moss kind of heroin chic
I didn't want
thin
to say
figure.
like animal handling, but
Not yet. Not yet. He hasn't gone full animal. I mean, if we go, that's a slippery slope. If we go down that, then sort of every social check can be done by animal handling.
That's a 5.
Technically mammals.
Yeah. So a 5. Okay, so you try to lift Harry up, at least to get him upright on the couch, and he is sort of thick as a stone. Like, it's like trying to lift a boulder. It's just not budging.
He's still eating well.
I rolled a 12 on my athletics.
Okay, so you're able to, with your superior robot strength, you're able to sort of get him at least kind of upright on the couch.
I kind of want to look him dead in the face, like try to force him to meet my eyes. Listen, you're being a fucking problem. And if you stay a fucking problem, then I'm not going to have any use for you anymore. And you know what that means. So, be helpful, or it's going to be problematic for you. You understand?
Intimidation, please, sir.
Jeez, Harry's a dick.
And hold on. Have advantage with that, because this man is a gibbering mess.
That's going to be. I'm going to burn a few of my 3 of my 6 hustle points to make that a 16.
Now, does that require you to do the hustle?
No, just I can expend points from the pool to alter the natural result of any non-attack D20 roll I make.
Okay, so no dancing involved.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right. I'll check the errata. Okay, so what was your result?
Total of 16.
Okay, so he manages to sort of finally match your gaze, and then there's a pretty heavy swallow and nods kind of furiously.
Now put on the fucking clothes, and we can start talking like normal people. You understand?
He sort of...
And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pointedly pick up both the pistols I put on and like tuck them into my belt.
Like a wounded animal is sort of, reacts to that sudden movement, and then sort of very cautiously makes his way over, grabs the clothing, and then just starts disrobing and re-robing in front of you. You can see that like his skin is Now that now that he's taking off, what remains of his clothes and putting on new clothes, you can see that his skin is strangely sort of pale. There's a kind of a saggy quality to it. You can see the occasional sort of wrinkle and discoloration. He seems to be so Reese and Plum, why don't both of you give me intelligence checks?
With anything specific?
Nope, just a straight intelligence check.
19.
I got a 14.
Okay, so Plum, you in particular, because of some relatives that you've had to deal with in your life, whether it's extended family or otherwise, you come to the kind of realization that Harry looks like, basically, if it weren't for his relatively youthful face, right? Still kind of weathered and everything like that. But he's got the body of a withered kind of senior citizen. Somebody who had sort of been wasting away in a home for a long period of time. Not necessarily dangerously malnourished, but like clearly at the end of his days, which doesn't track because as far as you can tell, in terms of like, the way that he's talking, the general structure of his face and everything like that, this is a guy who's probably in his 30s, but he's got the body of a senior citizen.
Been feeling sick? This place got like malaria or something?
I don't know. I
Keep down your food well?
I couldn't find. There are a couple of. I get a leaf every now and then, some fruit, half eaten on the ground, a piece of coconut. I take what I can, but there's not much out there. And he's very sort of raggedly, unsteadily putting on this clothing. So he manages to dress himself.
While he's dressing, I'll kind of like take Reese by the arm. Doesn't look like sick from malnourishment. This is a little bit more than that. Seems like he's about to go into hospice.
I'm going to say quietly in my more like normal, non-disguised inflection. Yes, it could appear that way.
So, Ada, Cullen, have you made your way back inside the shack at this point?
I don't think so.
You come in and you're able to see sort of the tail end of this, this kind of cancer patient body, sort of dressing himself. You're kind of shocked to see, as Harry is beginning to sort of redress himself, to see this kind of form. You see the tail end of that before he is fully dressed and is seated unsteadily back on the couch. Yes.
Do we see the kind of wrongness with them, the kind of paleness, and just like these slight as they walk in?
Yes, you do. You
The
immediately.
hell happened to you two?
Yeah, you see the paleness of their skin and the kind of unhealthiness of Cullen and Ada. It's a slight thing, but you're able to see it because of the light inside the shack. Again, there's something funny about them, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
The hell happened to you
Guys
two? You
took
look
your
funny.
suits off?
What are you talking about?
You're pale. Something looks wrong. You look like an early stage version of this douche nozzle.
There's something out in that forest.
I don't know what it
And
was.
you went in without your suits?
We needed something to keep track of where we go back to.
Oh, I guess we don't
I
even know
got
if the
4
suit would be
fucking rolls of
effective.
duct tape.
Well, I don't know what it was, but there's just something that put me on edge out there. The minute we stepped into the brush, it just the red.
I think I'd rather take my chances with that stationary cyclone.
Yeah, I agree.
So not a similar sensation as that tornado out there?
No, the tornado physically numbed you. That worked away with your brain. I get why.
And it
I
doesn't
get why
look like
Harry
it's
felt
affecting
that.
your brain. Looks like it's
You know,
affecting
like,
your whole body.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, not really.
Maybe
Think
because
of
you
the way
didn't
if
stick
someone
your head in the maelstrom.
Think of the way that someone goes, I guess, pale after they get spooked.
Seen a ghost.
Yeah. Shit like that. Either way, put your suits back on.
Do the suits have pockets?
No.
Probably.
Okay. Then before I put my suit back on, I'm going to take both my pistols, lay them out, and when I put my suit back on, I'm going to just basically be carrying my pistols outside the suit, just
Okay.
to make sure I have something. I'm armed and have quick access to them if necessary.
Sure.
I'll probably
Look,
just take my holster and then get from underneath the suit and put it on the outside of the suit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do the same. Quick, take the suit off, take the holster off.
Colin, as you're doing so, you kind of catch a glimpse. I mean, obviously, you're sort of moving some stuff around and sort of arranging yourself, right? You notice that. Well, at first it seems. Maybe you imagined it. Maybe it was a brief trick of the light, or maybe you weren't looking as closely. But it seems like your fingernails were longer than they were before.
I am just going to immediately look at them again and just go. I don't like this place.
come on, Colin, head in the game. We got to figure out what's in that storm outside.
Ada, look at your nails.
What's wrong
Look
with
at
your
the
nails?
So Ada, you look at your hand. Sure enough, your fingernails are longer than they usually are. And stop me if I'm overreaching here, but you usually keep your nails fairly short.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like longer than they would normally be. Like you would keep them pretty short, but these are like, you could have sworn that you sort of trimmed these, Ray, not too long ago, but now they seem to be a little overgrown.
I'm gonna
Just
unzip the
this
helmet of my
one.
suit.
Does,
I'm
does
gonna unzip the
Colin have
helmet of
like
my suit. Sorry, go ahead.
One at a time. I will have order.
Dude.
You go ahead, Lance. I can do mine after.
does Colin have any facial hair of like you have some places where he had shaved and now it's longer?
Yeah, so Cullen only has a goatee, normally.
So does he have some like mutton chop stubble now?
At least some growth.
You'd have to make an investigation check, Plum.
Investigate the beard.
Yeah.
Magnifying glass up close.
It's 21.
Oh,
Okay, so you give it a kind of a close look. As a former, member of the police department, a detective, right? You know that details are everything, and you're able to you're used to kind of cataloging that. And sure enough, there appears to be a barely visible amount of stubble, both sides. And in fact, the goatee seems to be just a little bit overgrown, just a little bit longer than usual. At least when you last saw him.
How often do you shave, Colin?
I shave my sides about every 2 days, and I trim my beard every whole week or so.
Do we have like a mirror or something? Does anyone have? I want to see how long you think this growth is. Because you got a lot more facial hair.
I'm just gonna brush my cheek with my hand.
That is stubble that should not be there.
Oh shite! I think that wood accelerates aging or time or some shit.
That's great. Let's stay focused here.
I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna put one of my pistols underneath kind of the crook of my armpit and unzip the helmet a little bit so that Harry would be able to hear me. Harry, to the best of your knowledge, how long were you in the woods?
Days, weeks, I don't know.
When you went in, what was the sun's position? Because it's almost evening time right now. When you went in, do you remember where the sun was?
It was. You see him kind of like look past you out and sort of past the beat curtain towards the beach area, and sort of squinting, and it was the same.
I'm gonna zip back up so he only hears the muffles. That is not good. We should not go in the woods.
And
without the suits.
The four of you notice that some of you sort of follow his gaze, right? Look outside. It's been, approximately 25 minutes or so that you've been here. The light hasn't changed. The sun doesn't appear to have gotten any further down into the horizon.
Look, we just need to stay focused here. Let's go check. Come on, we gotta check this out. We gotta do something.
We gotta do something. Where's that rope?
I kind of unzip my suit a little bit, reach into my back pockets, and pull out 4 rolls of duct tape.
Ada's just gonna like almost panickedly grab one and start heading outside.
I'm gonna follow Ada.
All right, I'll put the other 3 back, zip up the suit, get the pistol out from beneath my armpit, and follow out, just like very ready to start shooting if things start going wrong.
I'll grab the spear. At least maybe the spear can be short rope.
Okay, so the 4 of you head out of the shack back towards the column of sort of twisting maelstrom, and leaving poor Harry to sort of quietly mutter and occasionally cry out on the couch. So you're back out on the sort of the white stretch of beach. Sure enough, that column of storm is still a churning.
All right, one of you run the duct tape around me a couple of times. Get a bit of slack. I'm gonna try to get through to the other side, see if there's anything in there.
All right, I'm gonna position myself so that I have my break action shot pistol trained on the closer maelstrom, and my kind of longer range light pistol trained on the woods. While we have this going on, just trying to keep an eye on both.
Sure.
Reese, I'll watch the woods. I'll take my pistol out and I'll put my brass knuckles on my left hand.
We call that a Tahitian standoff, by the way. Okay.
Here, Ada, why don't you hold the one end of the spear? I'll hold the other while you go in.
how like big diameter wise is this storm?
Oh, the storm sort of.
Yeah.
You're looking at about the diameter of it is probably. Oh, I should have said circumference earlier, not radius, but the diameter of the storm is about. You want to say about 25 feet.
It's a lot larger than I was imagining.
So it's a pretty big
We're,
kind
we're,
of.
we're gonna want to actually like tie a bunch of duct tape and then make a pseudo rope out of it so that we can yank Ada out instead of having her hold one end of this makeshift spear.
Well,
I think.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
I'm
could
gonna-
duct tape the hand around the spear and then duct tape the other end, but well,
Look, run the duct tape around me. Hold on to that end. Keep giving me slack. I'm heading through to the other side. Got it?
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
hand the duct tape to Plum.
so Plum, you begin
do
sort
some
of
reps.
creating this makeshift duct rope. Both Cullen and Reese at the ready, guns trained at the ominous nothing in all directions. Okay.
If you yell for help, just know that we are at the ready.
So Plum, you're
I yell
finished.
for help. All of you pull.
So Plum, you're finished. You've got the other sort of, the roll itself of duct tape still trailing towards Ada's midsection. And Ada, it looks like you are ready to go.
Quick
All right.
question, just point of order. Would the Havana hat have fit under the helmet?
The Panama hat would not have fit under the helmet.
All right, then I'm just gonna have like tucked that into my shirt and buttoned up over it because I don't want to lose the hat.
Okay.
All right, so Ada's going to start moving with some speed. Again, probably that similar like hustle, not a full sprint, not a slow walk.
Kind of a
If
jog.
she's moving, yeah, a good jog. She's kind of prepped and ready to use her paranatural powers to try to recover any damage and see if she can get through to the other side while trying to see if there's anything roughly in the center of this thing or on the way through.
Okay. So you make your way through cautiously, but not slowly.
Yes.
So you make your way into the maelstrom. I need you to make a wisdom save, please.
Okay. That is a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Ooh.
I got vigor, not wisdom.
You take 1 force damage as you can feel a sort of a tingliness throughout your body as you're sort of pushing your way through. There is a kind of a resistance as if you're trying to walk in an Olympic-sized pool. You feel that sort of tension. And as you're pushing through, it seems like, for at least a foot or so, it's just like solid smoke and twisting cloud, and there's a sense of like static electricity in the air. And finally, you manage to pop through the other side, and you see inside, bordered by the interior of this storm column thing, a simple, sort of unadorned patch of white sandy beach. And in the center, there is what looks like a reclined beach chair, the kind that you would see sort of poolside at a hotel, or again, sort of, it's that kind of, it's got those kind of U-shaped sort of metal poles, and then they've got the weird plastic kind of wrapping across the entire thing, and what appears to be, you can only sort of assume it's belted or restrained in some kind of Frankensteinian kind of fashion to this beach chair is a wide-eyed, harried-looking man in what looks like this sort of short. He's got short gray hair, green eyes. He's got kind of a slightly beaked nose, and is wearing like a casual suit, right? And he is just like staring up into, you know, the side of this storm, terrified.
I'm gonna hit the radio real quick. Can you hear me?
Can I?
Can we?
Does anybody have the suit on? So who's got the suits on?
Yeah.
If you have the hazmat helmet on, you can hear Ada's transmission. It's slightly staticky, slightly garbled, but you're able to get the majority of the words.
I read you, Ada.
We all answer at once.
Yep.
You hear a sort of melange of words.
One at a time, guys.
Gotcha.
Over.
At least Reese didn't speak.
See, I figured I'm the one trying to hold her.
Third time's the charm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I
I'm in a
think
little staticky.
Daniel's in here.
Can you grab him?
I'll give it a try. Gonna make my way over and see if I can kind of pull the lounge chair towards one of the sides.
Okay, so you approach the beach chair, right? And you're sort of, again, this man strapped to the chair has no awareness of you. He just seems to be transfixed in horror at some sort of distant space. And as you begin to sort of like, you put your hands out to grab the beach chair and begin to sort of drag it towards the side of this circular area. And you see out of your periphery, right, sort of the corner of your eyes, on the opposite side of you, directly across. So here you are pulling the chair. On the opposite side of that, coming from the storm wall, pushing through as if trying to break through sort of like a plastic bag, right? You see this strange smoke-like figure. It seems as if part of the wall is actually sort of coming out into the circular space and forming what looks like this roughly humanoid shape is beginning to sort of like claw and, you know, almost like a kind of a
Birthing.
yeah, I mean that's it's not too far off, kind of like being birthed out of the side of this storm, this thing crawling and stretching out and trying to put its legs out and unsteadily making its way. And you see this 7-foot tall humanoid form made out of swirling smoke and cloud and lightning, and, you know, as you can see it tracing through the smoke. It looks like it's the storm has given birth to this storm man, basically.
Damn.
Any disturbance on our side?
Nope.
It's Electro. We need to call Spider-Man.
You didn't think this is my long con. We're gonna play Marvel heroic role playing.
This is
Mutants
your
and Masterminds is
introduction.
secretly the campaign all along.
Get your threat matrix out and let's go to town. So this thing is beginning to actively, slowly but actively, make its way towards you, Ada, as you're pulling the beach chair off to the side.
Over the radio. Plum, forget the rope. Everybody get in here now. Push through.
Hold it.
I just
Run into.
I'm just gonna turn straight and start running in. Yeah.
Okay, so The human beings, give me wisdom checks.
Haha, suck it, fleshies.
Meat bags. 17. Okay.
Wisdom, 12.
Okay, so Plum, you take 4 force damage.
Oh boy.
You get numb and tingly, but you manage, all 3 of you sort of push through, again, as if you're sort of like, not quite diving, but essentially falling into a, an Olympic-sized pool, right? And making your way under the surface tension. You break through the storm wall and, trying to sort of steady yourself as sand is being kicked up. You make your way, you find yourself behind Ada, who is dragging this beach chair with this man strapped to it. You immediately recognize this man, Cullen. That is Daniel Hamacher.
That's Hamacher.
You also see,
Don't worry about that.
coming out of the same side of the storm wall, is what looks like 2 more 7-foot-tall storm men, basically, pushing their way, being birthed out of the wall. There are now 3 of them sort of looming over and beginning to slowly make their way towards the lot of you with their hands outstretched.
And then I start blasting. Go full Danny DeVito
Full
on this
Danny DeVito.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Got 2 guns, so
Okay, so it's time, everybody, to roll initiative, please.
Anyways, it started
that's one of my
blasting.
favorite memes.
It's so
Natural
bad.
20! Yeah!
Nice.
You have channeled DeVito.
It's good because I have a -1 to initiative.
Good job, Danny DeVito.
Danny Dorito. Sweet
Knock
chili
off Danny
Dorito.
DeVito.
Yeah.
I'm the spicy nacho flavor, thank you very much.
Nice.
Okay,
like
so what's
Eric Lee
your
left.
what's your values?
15.
15 for Ada, okay.
15 for me.
15 for Cullen.
Evan.
Natural 20, so 19 technically for me.
19, okay. And
7.
Plum, 7 for Plum. Plum, you're a little numb Plum. And so you're having difficulty, coming to terms with things. You're a little slow on the uptake right now. Let's see here. Well, luckily, Reese, since you started blasting, it's your turn. So,
All right, I'm going to start by making my perception check for the double your efforts ability that I have. I only got an 11, so I do not get an extra action this turn. However, that said, I'm going to get within 10 feet, not 5 feet, but 10 feet of the closest one that's kind of blocking Ada's path as she pulls the bench closer to us. And I'm going to take my shot pistol and just point it straight at its chest and fire.
okay.
That's going to be a 12 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay. Then with my bonus action, because since I have a strength of 13, these both count as light for me, I'm going to take my regular pistol and take a shot at the same one.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You hate
Oh
this.
boy.
So let me just 1, 2, 3. There are 4 other people in here, so let me just.
Oh
Shoots Daniel
We
Hama.
are in like orange suits, right?
So your second bullet goes wide and manages to pop a hole in Ada's left suit, hazmat suit leg.
Oh no.
Well, hold on. You weren't still wearing your suit, were you? Or did you put it
No, I
back
have
on?
it on.
You put it back on
Yeah.
for the. Okay. Yeah.
My apologies. It was the wind.
Keep shooting.
Okay, Reese. Anything else on your turn, or is that it?
That's my movement action, bonus action, and I didn't get my extra action from double your efforts, so that's my turn.
Okay. So one of the storm men Specifically the one on the... As you're all facing them this way, looking over Daniel Hamacher's strapped body towards these three coming towards you. The one on the left-hand side very quickly begins to not quite walk, but sort of drift towards you. It makes its way over to you, Reese. And you see its hands, its arms and hands begin to sort of change shape. If you've ever seen, the old Spider-Man animated series or something like that, straight out of Sandman's playbook, like becoming these sort of massive, like Rock'em Sock'em Bopper size fists, and both of them...
Oh god, Electro meets Sandman, it's the Sinister Six all over again.
Yeah. Both of them, swing at you. So that's an 8 for the first hit.
That's gonna be a miss, I think.
And then a 17 for the second hit.
That one will hit.
Okay, so you're going to take 11 force damage.
Oof.
As this thing basically bashes into you, and you can feel that same numbing and sort of pins and needles tingling sensation sort of sweep through your body as it contacts with you.
That tingling sensation was not nearly as pleasurable as the last one.
What did you say, Lance?
I have an ability that reduces the damage by 1. Just want to make note of that.
Thank you, Plum.
Okay, next we have, let's see here, Cullen. Cullen, you're up.
I am going to run up next to Ada, and I am going to put a shot into the nearest storm
Ada.
giant.
Oh, okay, all right. So the
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
the nearest storm figure would be the one that is engaging Ada at the moment. Sorry, engaging Reese at the moment.
Then I will put a shot into it.
Okay, please do.
That is a 15, or that's a 20 to hit.
No. Yes, it does hit. I almost had you there.
Hey,
yes,
if
it
that
does.
missed, that means it's time to grab the thing and just start dragging.
Just run. Just run.
Well, you say
Gotta know when to
that.
run.
That's a total of 6 damage then.
6 damage, all right?
And then for the rest of my movement, since I only need one hand for my pistol, I'm going to grab the chair, and I'm going to assist Ada in any pulls that she does.
Okay, sounds good. Next we have Ada. It's your turn.
All right. I'm just going to try to haul ass and see if we can get Daniel out of this storm center.
Haul ass, smoke grass, eat ass.
In that order.
That is, oddly enough, the motto of the Federal Bureau of Control. Yeah.
Progressive.
Yeah, it is pretty... I mean, they were pretty progressive for the 60s. I'm sorry.
Weed's illegal yet.
I'm sorry, Ada, what the fuck did you want to do? Because I just kind of got lost with that whole section there.
Just grab and try to pull
So you are
Daniel. Yeah. See if I can get him as far out of here as possible.
Okay. So please make an athletics check with advantage.
Okay. There we go. Not much better, but 15?
15. Okay. So with Cullen's help, you're able to sort of drag this thing through the sand. It's got the full weight of an adult man on it, so it's not easy. But you're able to drag it another...
Okay, see, breaking up as bad for you all as he is for me right now.
Yeah.
Okay, is everything okay? Am I still good?
Almost.
Oh god, it's so bad.
Okay, hi,
Oh, boy.
Wally.
All right.
Go meet your Eve.
Wally.
okay. All right. Well,
Oh no, he just froze now.
okay. So I'm just going to take a minute.
Is it better?
I'm still recording on my end, so I'm just going to talk.
Never mind.
It's just-
Ben, his robot
like a
impression is
techno
even
song.
better than mine.
No, I just froze.
Yep. I've frozen like 3 times tonight so far.
Yeah. Oh.
testing. 1, 2. Okay. Cool.
Hey.
Hey.
There.
Oh.
There he is!
Am I okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, after that little interlude, so you're able to, Cullen, you and Ada are able to drag the beach chair basically out to the edge of the storm circle. Your backs are basically against the swirling storm wall, the interior of the tube, right?
Sweet.
Anything else in your turn, Ada?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. The storm-like figure that was on the right-hand side makes his way towards you, Cullen. Again, sort of not quite walking, but now gliding towards you. The same sort of morphing of this thing's arms and hands, creating these 2 big bludgeoning instruments, happens, and then it just swings both of them at you, attempting to essentially like crush your head between its two meaty fists. That is a 21 to hit.
Big, meaty claws!
So I'm going to assume a 21 hits you.
No, it misses totally.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, hits.
And then
Just a parry.
and then a 22. So both of them hit you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh, that's a
Ugh.
crunch.
So 1. So you take 17 force damage.
Thank you,
Oh.
Plum. So I would
Yeah.
take 2.
Well, it'll. I'd assume because it's 2 separate attacks.
Sure,
Yeah.
rules.
So 17, so lose 15. All right. Just so you guys know, I look about a 13 out of 32.
Sure, yeah. The common scale. Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
And I'm not quite bloodied yet, but I'm close.
So these things just kind of like...
Basically whap you on the sides of the head.
Thunderclap.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Probably get a nice ringing in your ears.
There's a ringing in my ears.
Your head hurts, again, just as much as it did when Daniel Hamacher's psyche got shoved in there.
Man,
I
some
yell,
serious head trauma today.
again.
Not again.
Not again.
The central storm figure sort of begins like actively sort of sprinting towards, well, sprint gliding basically, faster than the other 2. And you see it grab the other side of the beach chair.
Oh no.
And with a pretty heavy kind of force tries to yank it away from you. So, since... Yes, go ahead.
If it's pausing directly in front of me to go for something, would I have attack of opportunity? Because it's
Nope.
basically stopping full force in front of me.
Because it's not leaving your threat space, no.
Okay.
If this was 3.5, yes.
So, I need you, Ada, since Cullen has just been smacked pretty thoroughly. I need you to make an athletics check, and it'll be contested against this thing's athletics check.
I'm rolling with a total of a -1. Let's go.
Oh no.
Oh,
5.
We lost Hamaker.
Well,
Probably.
good news. 5 is traditionally more than 0. So yeah, you hold on to it.
What's this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not at all.
So their attack
Beach
stat is
episode.
probably not strength then.
Probably not.
No. Did like it just push the chair towards us?
No, but it essentially like tried to yank and nothing. Ada, you are in some
Congrats.
kind of like, nun saving a bus full of school children kind of strength, just holding on to the chair, completely immovable.
As the storm tries to rip it from your hands.
Oh, this is my umbrella.
A.
There you go.
Right, yeah. Plum, it's your
Hello.
turn.
I'll spend my action activating my ability, which boosts my damage negating. Give everyone force damage resistance. So what it looks like is probably me trying to distract them in order to like have the storm creatures not hit them as well.
Okay.
But by the way, I don't get that resistance, so
Well, just don't get hit.
yeah. So that's my action.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Just don't get it.
Lasts for 10 turns.
Nice.
Okay, so
No!
so let's keep that in mind, folks. Force resistance.
Does that stack with your -1 damage too?
I don't think so because it's boosting that ability.
Hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
So, Reese, you're back up.
All right. I'm not going to be taking any risks here because we're in shit hit the fan mode. So I'm going to use my life insurance ability to burn one of my hit dice and automatically succeed on that thing that gives me a second action. It also gives me advantage on all ability checks and attack rolls I make this turn. So I'm first going to disengage. So no opportunity attacks against me.
Yeah, so you're
And
backing
I'm
up.
going to go kind of dodge beneath the one that's holding the other end. I'm going to press my shoulder against it. I'm going to heave as hard as I can
Okay.
to try to push push the thing into the storm wall and out.
Okay,
Mm.
give me an athletics check, please.
Advantage, yeah.
You're just kind of body checking this thing out of the way.
Yep. And I'm going to use my last 3 hustle points to increase that roll by 3, giving me a total of 15.
15. Okay. Let's see. So that's
Hope it doesn't have acrobatics.
Okay. So you scoop under, body check this thing.
I'm not trying to body check the storm man. By the way, I'm trying to body check the bench out.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're getting the beach chair out.
Yes,
Okay.
just pushing on it as hard as I can.
Okay. In that case, yeah, you very easily sort of duck under, check this thing. I'm going to assume that Cullen and Ada do nothing to sort of resist this. You want
Correct.
it to happen. Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that. And so with this check, the beach chair, Cullen, and Ada, all 3 of you, including with Daniel Hamaker strapped to the thing, get sort of jockeyed out of the storm, and you're now on the opposite side. You're back out on the beach. The beach proper, I should say.
I'm just gonna go, woo!
And how
Let's
much
trip.
movement would I have left after that? Because I have 35 movement speed.
Okay.
So if I can, I'm gonna try to get myself out too.
20.
Guys, do Plum.
All right, and then I'm gonna say, quickly, Plum. We don't want to lose you, and I'm just going to run straight out if I can.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so.
As I'm the only
Yep.
one, I should have had that rope tied around me.
Yep.
And then I'm
Well, if you're
going
holding
to,
on
as
to
soon
that
as I
duct
exit the, as soon as I exit the storm, I'm going to drop to one knee and raise both guns just to try to, if they start coming out, just be prepared to shoot.
Dodge
But
this.
I don't think I have another action.
Okay, sounds good.
Then it's me
I
dodging
got
it.
you
Oh no!
in my sights!
All right. Then we have the same figure that you saw, Plum, that you saw threaten Reese earlier, sort of slowly turns its head towards you, glides towards you, and tries to bash you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's a 7 to hit you,
That'll miss.
and a 19.
Okay.
Let's see here. That is 8 force damage.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Plum.
This thing basically takes its meaty sort of fist and decks you sort of straight in the solar plexus kind of area, top of the gut, sort of chest area. You sort of, the wind is partially knocked out of you. Cullen,
Hear my groaning over the microphone.
Cullen, you hear an unfortunate groan coming through the microphone, but you're on the other side. You're with Hamaker and Ada. So what do you want to do?
There's nothing coming out on this side of the storm at all.
Not yet.
I guess I'll just kind of begin to, let's see. I don't have a knife on me, so I guess I'll just be like tearing at the straps that is holding Hamaker down.
Okay. Athletics check, please.
Okay. Straight 8.
8. Okay. These things are a little bit tighter than you expected. They're basically leather straps that have been sort of like twisted and knotted and everything like that. You're able to get one of them off. So there are there are 3 on Hamaker's body. There's one across sort of the chest area. There's one closer to the wrists, and there's one around the legs. Which one would you rather take off first?
I'll take off the chest.
Okay. So that gives him a little bit of like sort of freedom in terms of like the torso. Okay. Still no sort of reaction from Hamaker. He still appears to be sort of almost catatonically sort of, frightened of something in the void, in the distance. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do, Cullen?
I'm going to make a comment about how this is not a vacation.
Okay.
This is not a vacation. And I'm
Maybe
going
it's his
to...
vacation.
You receive
gonna,
5 style points.
Oh, thanks. I guess I'll pull out my gun then and, like Reese, and turn to afterwards, like just kind of like have it at the ready.
Ready. Okay. Okay, Ada.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull another one of those straps off.
Okay, athletics, please.
3.
Nope. You just tug and tug, and this thing is not working.
Yeah, I'd probably hop to the other side of it and just keep an eye on that storm wall.
Okay. Let's see. Now we have... okay. So the one that was threatening Cullen, if I remember correctly, so you see it out of the corner of your eye, Plum. It is actively sort of gliding towards... It makes its way towards the wall, right, the storm wall, and begins sort of in a similar fashion, almost like reverse birthing, sort of trying to push its way through. You can see, guys, on the opposite side, basically a head and a hand begin to make its way through the storm wall, but he's not able to breach it quite yet. But it's only a matter of time.
I shoot it.
Did you prepare an action?
Well, I did ready myself in case anything came out.
But you usually have to spend an action to ready an action.
Yeah, and you already
Gotcha.
did
Yeah,
one.
I think
I did.
Yeah,
my
I used 2 actions last turn, so mine was more just flavor.
Yeah.
All right. Then I tried to go for that extra style point.
1 style point. Very good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cullen styler.
So let's see here. Then another one of the figures inside. You can see Plum again in the periphery. This same figure make its way to the edge of the wall and begin sort of breaching through. Next we have Plum.
Okay, well, as I'm only fighting the one, and then the 2 are trying to exit.
The other 2 are trying to breach the wall and get on the exit the other side. Yeah.
I'll shoot the one in front of me and then try to leave the maelstrom.
Okay. So you have
without disengaging.
Okay. Do you have what's the fucking feat or like? Because you're right. You're basically in melee range of this thing, and you're trying to
Talking
get
about
range.
crossbow expert.
Yeah.
I think with small arms it doesn't matter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Small arms ignore that. I believe in the rule book.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That I seem to recall that. Yeah. Okay.
I only got a pistol. Oh wow, these dice are terrible. How does a 9 do?
It doesn't do very well. I can tell you that it performs poorly.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Bullet
Time
goes
to
wide.
Go to the middle, and then I'll leave.
So you're gonna just. So you're not disengaging, but you are
Yes.
leaving. You're running away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this thing gets a swing at you. Let's see here. That is a 15 to hit.
It just meets.
Okay.
Cool.
It just meets your meat, and you take 9 force damage.
Woo!
Gives you a little extra push to get out.
Basically, yeah. You basically,
Get outta here.
this thing sort of, you have this force on your back as you sort of fall out of the storm and get a face full of sand.
How's
Just
Plum looking?
splat. How does like a 5 out of 27 do? Stand that?
Damn.
These scales are real fucked up. They don't seem to be standardized.
No, they're very American, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you
Ah,
see,
the
mine
imperials.
is specific to a sapper, so
Oh,
it's the
okay.
sapper scale.
All right.
You know, my
You know,
foot's
I'm on
not
the
the same
face
as
scale.
Colin's foot.
Exactly.
Is the king's foot.
So Reese, you're back up.
All right. I'm going to place my 2 pistols down onto the bench chair, like basically on Daniel Homaker's lap for all intents and purposes. And I'm just going to say, leave no man behind. And I am going to burn another one of my hit dice. And I'm going to, no disengage, nothing, run back into the storm. And if I have to, I will take the dash action. I'm trying to save both my actions if I can here. I'm going to run back in. I would like to just say, sorry, I don't have time to ask for permission. Grab Plum and start dragging him out.
No, Plum already made his way out of the storm.
He's already out? Okay. Then
Yeah,
I'll
that-
make
On
my
the
way out there.
outside.
That extra hit from the creature essentially forced him out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's probably time we get going. And I'm going to roll for double my efforts. Then I'm not going to burn a hit die. That is unfortunately cocked, because that would have been 19. That's an 18. Okay, I get my extra action. Sweet. So I am going to still place my pistols down basically on Daniel Homaker's lap. I'm going to grab the back of the chair, and I'm going to dash twice and just pull the chair.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys see Reese grab the back of this beach chair and then like an Olympic sprinter just take off, sand kicking away, making, what is it? So that's, you're dashing.
105 feet.
Yeah, you're dashing twice, right? Yeah.
So my speed's 35, so I am moving 105 feet this turn.
Yeah. You hear the rest of you as you see Reese dragging this poor, still strapped beach man on a beach chair down a Tahitian beach. You hear the
Time to go.
the theme song to Sonic Adventure 1 on the Dreamcast.
And I am heading straight for that cabin because it's a bit more defensible of a location. And I want to get him as far into that cabin as I possibly can.
Well, since you've gone 105 fucking feet, you've passed the initial cabin. There are additional cabins, but
Well, no, I want to go into that cabin,
okay.
place him down, preferably next to Harry if I can, and then basically take cover in the entrance.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
And prepare to shoot.
Okay, you do so.
Hurry along now.
The guns didn't fall off.
Okay, one of the figures breaches through the wall. It now sort of sees Cullen, Ada, Plum, a lot of you. Plum, you are prone right now.
Yep.
So this thing makes its way. It makes its way towards you, Plum. It sort of like sweeps its head slowly and kind of gets tracking on everybody. Sees that you're vulnerable. It makes its way towards you, and then, like a plank of wood, falls on top of you.
Oh God, it's swamping it.
Same idea.
So this thing basically, like, the rest of you, Cullen, Ada, you see this thing basically fall on top of Plum and essentially kind of merge with him. Like, you see Plum sort of like in the midst of inside this figure, right? As if he had been sort of partially absorbed or subsumed by this thing. And I need, Plum, I need you to make a strength save, please.
Strength?
Yes.
Dang, I was going to recommend ground pounding its back, but if it's merging with him, I don't think we can do that.
Nice.
Oh, how does a natural 1/2 do?
Oh no.
Very poorly.
Oh.
So,
These expensive dice are doing bad.
so you take 4 force damage.
Okay. I'm still up.
Did he freeze again?
No, I'm just looking at something.
I thought he just muted.
Am I still good?
Okay, yeah, you had a
Four
brief
force
flash
damage.
of being frozen. Yeah.
Okay, so
4
this
force damage, then what?
you immediately feel this kind of tension in your body, Plum, and you realize that you can't breathe.
Okay. I'll probably
All right,
start
suffocation rules begin to apply.
like grabbing to like open up the suit.
Okay. But first, Cullen, you're back up.
Man, suffocation rules don't come up very often. It's interesting to see them in play.
Now, quick question. Since this thing came out in front of me and then went to the side for Plum, would I have a chance to shoot it before it actually hit Plum?
Because of the initiative order, no.
Okay. Then is there any other of the storm giants, I guess, that came out, or is that the only one?
That's the only one that's come out so far.
I'm gonna shoot at it,
Okay.
and I am going to spend 2 tech points so I can shoot it an additional 2 times.
Okay.
So first shot,
Let's just
that
hope
is
it
a
doesn't also
21
hit
to
Plum.
hit.
21, that hits.
Second one is a 20 to hit.
That also hits.
These aren't natural. And the second one is also a 21 to hit.
Well, that one does. Yes, they all hit.
Flap,
All three of
flap,
them.
flap.
Bap, bap, bap. All right, so
Turn your gun to the side for style points, or yeah.
I'm shooting upside down. I'm holding
Just
it in front
360
like
it.
this.
You're holding with your pulling the trigger with your pinky.
Curving the bullet, wanted style.
Oh, no.
That's what they meant by 360 no scope.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Okay, so what I would like to do actually is kind of slide to the ground so I can shoot more of an up angle, so I can make sure I'm not hitting Plum while still shooting the thing.
Well, with those rolls, I mean, it's already pretty guaranteed that Plum's not
Hell
getting
Yeah,
hit.
pretty precision.
Yeah.
So that's 5 damage from the first roll, 6 damage from the second roll, and 8 damage from the third roll. So 6, 14, 19 total damage.
19. Okay.
And I have spent a total of 3 technical.
So you fire 3 bullets at this thing.
Yeah.
You can see part of the storm figures basically getting torn away like wisps of smoke, sort of breaking away from this thing. It's still on top of Plum, but you seem to have structurally harmed it, we'll say. Ada.
And, oh,
Sorry, go ahead, Colin.
After that, I would then like to kind of run in an arc around Plum so that I'm on the side of the cat.
Okay. Ada?
I'm gonna look at Plum, hand out, and launch a bolt of energy at it.
Okay.
All right.
I was wondering when we were going to get into spooky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, from my corner of the door frame where I'm watching, Reese is going to smile big.
That is a 17 to hit.
17. That hits.
All right. Okay. 13 radiant damage, and they need to make a con or vigorous save, DC 13, or be blinded.
Ooh.
Okay. So a con save, you said?
Yep.
Alrighty then. 21.
That'll do.
Rolled pretty well for that. So it is not blinded.
Could they even be blind?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, we don't know now.
Okay, anything else on your turn there, Ada?
Is anybody next to me in terms of threats?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 30 feet of movement to get closer to
Run,
that
Ada,
bungalow.
run!
So where are you going?
Heading towards Reese and the bungalow.
Oh, so the shack. Yeah, okay. Very good. All right. The second figure pushes through the wall. You can see this figure. Again, it sort of sweeps its vision, trying to get a sense of the situation, and then it sinks into the sand and disappears.
This is the shack? 'Cause I had missed the intro. Turning on
No,
my light.
the figure, the storm man
Okay.
that came out, took a look at the thing and then just sunk into the sand, and you couldn't see it anymore.
Thank you.
That's weird.
Finally, you see a third, again, another humanoidish face and a hand begin to breach the wall. And with that, Plum. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's right. 3. Plum.
Yeah.
You
So that
are
went last.
having trouble breathing.
So the creature above me is not there anymore, or
No, that
I'm just
creature's
having
still on
trouble.
you.
Okay. So I'll try to escape its presence. Try to crawl out.
Okay, make a athletics check or acrobatics doesn't really apply here.
No, not with crawling. How's 11 do?
An 11. Well, let's find out. An 11 for this gentleman Nope. 15.
Oh boy.
So you are still in the throes of this thing's sort of body, basically, and you are continuing to suffocate. So,
I have a con of 16, so I think it's like plus
what's your mod on that?
something with the modifier.
What's your mod?
Plus 3.
So that's, you can hold your breath for 4 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Just don't go unconscious.
yeah, just don't go unconscious and you'll be fine.
That's it. It's that easy.
Reese,
Mhm.
you are
All right.
ready to go.
I'm going to make my perception check real quick.
Mm-hmm.
24, yes. I am going to reclaim my pistols from Daniel Hallmacher's lap. I'm going to run back out. And how close can I get to Plum without dashing?
Without dashing,
Yes.
you had a movement speed of 35, right?
Yes.
You're within 10 feet.
Excellent. So I'm going to duck down, and I'm going to take my shot pistol and try to aim it above his body, but still hit the thing, and I'm going to make my shot pistol attack.
Sure.
That is a 13 to hit.
Okay. Let's see. That just makes it.
Ooh.
I get +3 damage because he's within 10 feet.
Nice.
I've been
I love the
waiting.
break action shot pistol.
I've been waiting this whole time for the accidental execution of Agent Plum, but looks like it's not going to happen.
Missed it by
Alright,
this much.
Yeah.
I only rolled a 1 on that attack, so that's 7 damage, thanks to being within 10 feet.
7 damage. Okay.
I mean, there is something about at least hurting your other teammates in this squad.
So you level the pistol. This thing takes it full force, and the storm creature basically, like somebody blowing out a birthday candle, basically dissipates.
All right. I'm just going to ask, are you all right, Agent Plum?
Can I breathe again?
Yes, you are now able to like stop holding your breath and you know.
So you'd probably just like hear that gasp.
Ah, good. Then for my bonus action, I'm going to open up the back to eject the 2 bullets, put 2 more in, and then use my second action to ready for if one of those creatures comes within 10 feet of me, I'm a blast it. Kind
Okay.
of just positioning myself in a protective manner between Plum and the things.
Sure. Cullen, you're back up.
How close am I to Plum?
You're within let's see. Because you moved around. You're within about 10 feet.
All right. I guess I'll go over and I will get Plum to his feet.
Okay. You help him up?
And then, was that my action, or do I still have an action?
No, I mean that's basically nothing.
Okay. I will. How far away is Reese from me?
5 feet.
I'll move next to Reese, and I will ready an attack action in case one of those comes out.
Okay.
Firing squad.
Shoulder to shoulder. Charlie's
Nah,
Angels.
He's kneeling down. I'm standing slightly to the side with my gun out.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I'm still standing.
Full Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
Hey, at
But we
least
didn't get the
I mean, next we just gotta hang ourselves from the ceiling and just kind of
Yeah.
upside down. And
I mean, I am Irish, so this works. My
Well,
character is
yeah.
Irish, so this works.
Because
my character can impersonate an Irishman.
because all Irish people are the same, of course. That's essentially what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, we learned.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I look like every other Irish person.
And here I thought that now, June of 2020, we were post-racism, but
See, I wasn't going to say anything about being able to talk while, being choked.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably best to leave that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's not
Yeah.
say that.
Ada.
Let's zip over to Plum and charge up some blinding light between my hands and pop him some hit points back.
Oh, I thought you were going to kill him. Okay, cool.
Some people have to.
I'm just happy we have a healer.
Final
Thank
flash.
goodness for that.
Enjoy 5 hit points back. And
5
I'm going to
hit
spend my bonus action recovering some of that vessel spell.
All right, this plum is ripe again.
Mm.
You can
I
take
might be
that,
a
by the
little
way.
sour.
You can use that, by the way.
Might be a
That's
little
all
sour.
yours.
Nice.
Would you say you're a bit tart?
Yeah, he's a bit sour.
Look, he was almost flattened into a plum wine.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd be a little
pulpy.
bit bitter too.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm good.
Okay, good.
He's probably also a
Oh.
bit bruised.
So, Reese, you feel a disturbance of air behind you,
Okay.
and you feel the telltale swing of large,
Meaty hands.
meaty hands trying to strike your back.
Will that trigger my reaction after the first attack? Because my reaction is if one of them came within 10 feet of me.
So the first one is kind of like the first blow will be a surprise, but the second one you
Okay.
can do, yes.
Okay.
Would I have a reaction to this as well?
Yes, as soon
'Cause
as
I'm
you
right next to him.
yeah. Basically it'll hit a Reese once for free, basically as a surprise attack, but as you see this thing coming out of the sand, right? You'll be able to get your full attack. So that is, let's see, 13 to hit you, Reese.
Nope.
Okay. And then it tries a second hit. And that is a 9.
So I feel it coming and apparently use my robot reflexes to dodge both strikes.
Sure.
And then I'm just gonna whirl on it and flap.
I notice Reese whirling to it, look over, and I pop it.
Good.
That's a 17 to hit with my shot pistol.
17 to hit. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
I do not. Can I spend an immediacy point to get another reaction attack action, or is it only action?
Think only action.
I think it's only action because you can only have one reaction per turn.
You're going full Wally again, Jason. At least on my screen, at least for me.
Oh, I think you're back.
Am I good?
He's not back.
No.
It'll probably
No.
take a little while.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
I'll just
boy.
roll for my one attack
Yeah.
a while. Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
it just has to be above 13.
I got
Perfect.
a 22 to hit.
All right, so we both whirl on this thing and get some shots, I guess. But
Flap,
wait for
flap,
Jason to
flap.
come back first.
You both hit.
Still robot.
I rolled a 1 for damage.
Oh, video's
There
smoothing
you-
out.
there he
We're
is.
catching.
All
Are you
right.
back?
Oh, are you guys still here?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought we won
Alright.
the combat. I thought we left the beach.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
So since you both hit, give me damage.
I got an 11, thanks to that +3 to damage for it being within 10 feet of me.
Okay.
Dude, the break action shot pistol is awesome. I love this thing.
I rolled a 1, but I get a +3 to damage, so it's just 4.
Okay. So you light this thing up. A couple of, bullet holes and wispy smoke bits are shorn out of this storm man. And let's see here. You see the third storm figure break through the wall.
Okay.
And it begins to make its way towards the lot of you.
I mean, we're basically all crouched around Plum protectively like the Avengers right now. That's at least the picture I'm getting in my head.
So, Plum, you're up.
Okay, I will shoot the one that kind of ambushed us.
Wait,
Okay.
Let's see if I still have a bunch of sand on my visor.
did Reese and I get turns? Because I know.
I mean, no. So we used our reactions there. So it's
Yeah.
there too. So it's the two things, then it's plum, and then it's back to top. Eventually.
Okay, we killed the one that goes after Reese. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we killed the one that was on plum, which is the one that's in between.
Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
was checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, not natural 20?
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Yeah, let's light these storm guys up.
4 damage.
How you like this lightning?
4 damage. You're basically doing the equivalent of like some kind of redneck jamboree where you're just getting your rifles out and firing into the sky. Woo!
Go away, storm. We don't want your kind here.
Wait, so we're Florida man?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
We'll
go fight the
destroy the
ocean after
hurricane.
this.
The
I'll
state
give
actually
Reese a
released
+1.
something to not shoot into a hurricane because it was throwing the bullets elsewhere and people were like property was getting destroyed.
Yeah. Okay,
Sounds like Florida.
solid hit, Plum, and we're back to Reese.
All right, I'm gonna roll for my perception real quick. That's a natural 20, so a 25. So I believe I get my extra action this turn.
No.
All right, I'm going to take my first action is going to be the attack action. I'm going to fire the second shot of my shot pistol into the one that came up behind me.
Mm-hmm.
That's cocked. That is also
Get a +1.
cocked. God dang it, Dice Tower. That is going to be a total of 24 to hit.
Yes.
And that's going to be a total of 8 damage from that.
8 damage.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to shoot with my other pistol. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
That does hit.
And since it's my bonus action dual weapon attack, there's no damage bonus added, so that's only going to be 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. More bullets riddle this thing.
And then for my second action, I'm going to pop open and reload my shot pistol again.
Sure. Why not?
Smooth.
Only gets 2 shots, but it deals real good damage.
Cullen.
So, how far away is the one coming out of the storm wall?
About 15 feet.
All right, cool. So I can hit that. I am going to sock another 2 tech points into it and go for 3 shots into the one.
So the one that just exited the storm wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so not the one you've been lighting up to begin with.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So that is a 17 for the first shot,
That hits.
a 17 for the second shot,
Well, that one doesn't because it's unlucky.
and an 8 for the third shot. So I'm
That-
guessing I only hit twice.
The 8, oddly enough, hits. It's just, that was the lucky one. No, you hit twice. You hit.
I thought its AC was actually that low.
Its AC is kind of a weird quantum fluctuation, so, it changes
It's
every
like
round.
THAC0,
That tracks for this game. That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually it does. Okay, so
Oscillates on a sine curve.
9 for the first hit,
9 for the first
And-
hit.
5 for the second hit, so a total of 14 damage.
What was the second hit? I'm sorry.
A total of 5 damage per second, so total of 14.
Okay. All right. Some pretty solid hits. Ada, you're up.
Okay, so we've got one that's kind of been shot at a lot.
And one that's been pegged just a little bit that's just recently come onto the beach.
Okay, I'll go after our recent addition.
And Reese in addition.
If I knew more about the band, I would have made a new edition kind of joke, but I don't.
So it goes.
So,
I'm gonna do a bit of a gamble. We're gonna boost the cost by 6 to add 3 extra dice of damage if it hits.
all right.
Yep.
Kame.
Does a 10 hit?
Does a 10 hit?
Yeah,
Oh, no!
10. I rolled a 5.
Oh,
Let's
Blast
see.
in the beach.
you took too long charging up the Kamehameha wave, and unlike the Dragon Ball Z enemy, it steps away from the blast where you're aiming.
Okay, Ada. You feel as you're aiming this thing that it's not going to hit. You have a split second. I'm offering you a deal.
Go on.
You can add a d6 to your attack roll if you take the result away from your HP as well.
Oh.
Opening yourself up to, para-utilitarian forces slightly beyond your control.
So is this going for the whole damage or just that 1d6?
No, this d6 is just helping you hit.
D6 of damage, right?
Yeah, it's a 1d6 of...
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you roll gets applied to your attack roll, and it also is a damage towards you.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Okay, so you're not taking the Kamehameha wave to yourself as well.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
No.
Would be a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the gamble.
Okay.
Knowing my luck, it won't help, but I will try.
Just need like a 3.
It's cocked. Was almost a 5. It's a 5 again.
Woo!
So that 15, that hits.
All right.
And also 5 damage.
And 5 HP from you gone.
To deal
that
6d6,
sucks, but-
I will take it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And 66
that's-
radiant, right?
Yeah, radiant. And that is draining a lot of my vessel. That is 11 vessel gone there.
You didn't need it.
Nah, give me it back. All right.
Oh, luckily you can recharge that.
We're playing Shadowrun now. Can you hear the
Yeah.
dice pool?
The d6. See, that was a 9, and that was an 11. 20 plus Vigor Mod, 23 radiant damage.
23 radiant damage.
Yep.
Okay, so you conjure this. Tell me what it is, first of all.
It's the what has been dubbed the Bolt of Heaven. It is a blinding light that is basically projected from the palm. Basically, yeah, I think kind of pulling from DBZ a bit. Did the whole Kamehameha, spin it around a little bit, reflect it a couple of times to build it up, and then just like arm straight out shot and just blinding beam of light.
So the rest of you see this basically column of light shoot out of Ada's hand, make contact with the storm creature that had just breached the wall, and this thing is obliterated.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
In fact,
That was amazing, Ava.
there's a brief, like, watermelon-sized hole through the storm column as well, both that wall and the wall, before it seals itself back up again.
Nice.
Damn.
Damn.
Quick moment to take a breath, and that's it for my turn.
You cough slightly, and there's a little bit of blood coming out of your mouth.
Oh.
That's not good.
Deal with that
I'm
later.
guessing it hits like the faceplate. Hits like the glass from the
Yeah.
faceplate of the
Oh, yeah.
suit.
Okay, our last storm man. Since okay, so Reese, you had moved or did you stay where you were?
Oh, I stayed exactly where I was, right in front of it, just
Okay,
filling it with lead.
And I stayed behind Reese as well, so like
Cool.
I'm standing right behind.
so this thing basically tries to like bash you, Reese, 2 more times. Okay,
Okay.
so that is a
Is the resistance to force damage still active? I don't think it's been a
Still
minute
have
yet,
like
right?
3. It's 10 turns, so
it should be because as far as I
there's
know,
like 3 left, I think.
yeah. So that's
Cool.
an 11 to hit you for the first off,
That'll miss. My AC is 15.
and another 11. You are very lucky.
So I've dodged 4 of this thing's attacks in a row now. I feel pretty bad. That's not gonna lie.
Be
Yeah.
like water.
Who just rolled.
I mean, you got like great input, right? Being
Well, what Reese is doing is classic sort of fighting game cheating, which is the computer is just reading the
Downloading.
inputs of the other player and just hitting the button before they can.
I'm practicing the good old perfectly timed advanced guard.
Yeah.
The Royal Guard. Ah, yeah.
So then we have Plum. Plum, you're up.
okay. I'll try to take a shot at this almost dying wisp of smoke. That was a 13 do.
A 13 that misses.
That's my turn.
So there's only the one left, and that's the one that's trying to beat the shit out of Reese unsuccessfully. Okay.
Amen.
Speaking of Reese, you're back up.
All right, gonna make that perception check. I only got a 7 that time, so I do not get the extra action. That said, I'm going to take the attack action and try to shoot it with my shot pistol. That's going to be a 13 to hit, which I'm pretty sure misses.
13 is a miss.
And then I'm just going to take my bonus action to attempt to shoot it with my light pistol.
Okay, please do.
That's a natural 1.
Oh,
Okay. Your shot
Behind you.
your shot goes wide, kills an innocent coconut, but otherwise everything's fine.
Ricochets the coconut.
Ricochets
And
off the
I'm
coconut,
going to-
kills Daniel Hamacher. No.
Oh, God, no.
And I would like to use my movement this turn. I'm going to stay within its area of threat, but I want to try to position myself as much as possible to like block it from getting to everyone else.
Okay.
Like, I want its attention focused on me.
Okay. Cullen.
I am going to spend my last 2 tech points to put 3 bullets in this thing.
Okay.
So that is a 24 to hit. First one.
What do you think?
That is 21 to hit for the
Uh-huh.
second,
Uh-huh.
and I missed the third shot again.
Well, why even bother? Those first 2 attacks do hit.
Why spend the tech point?
Why roll dice? Why create a character?
Yeah.
I think I have to spend the tech points before I declare. So,
Probably.
That makes
but
sense.
that is a 7 for the first attack
Okay.
and a 8 for the second attack. So 15 damage again.
All right. So, you've got your gun. Fire 3 shots. You again tear into this thing's body, and you see that 2 of those 2 bullets basically intersect this thing's roughly where the fold is, where the bottom of their torso and their legs begin, right? Sort of breaks that open. You see the legs sort of like dissipate into smoke, and this thing just sort of like collapses and dissipates onto the ground.
Nice.
Perhaps it would be best to regroup in the cabin in case the storm spawns more of these.
I think that's a good idea.
Sounds good. Ada's gonna like try to position herself so nobody else can see the face mask real quick, and just kind of like jimmy a hand up there to try to wipe some of the blood away before heading back in.
Just smears across.
Yeah, probably.
Makes it worse. It's just
Yep.
Yeah.
okay. As the lot of you make your way inside the shack with Harry and the still strapped Daniel Hamacher, the shot fades to black as we end our session for this evening. All right. So congratulations, everyone. You lived, and Daniel Hamacher lived. Those are the minimum goalposts to meet for success.
Well, we all lived. We could have had a mediocre, result with one of us dying.
Yeah, Plum could have died.
You got pretty close there. You're down to like a hit point.
I was down to one.
Dang!
By the way, the reason I was tanking is because I have like an extra way of like gaining more hit points. So
Cheating.
in a pinch, I can do that.
You know, as you do.
It's robot cheating, yeah.
Well,
Help other people soak.
okay. So, as is customary, let's take a little bit of time to talk about the session, what you liked and what you didn't like, and how we can improve things, and how I can threaten you more effectively in the future.
I like almost dying.
It is fun.
Well, great, because that's going to happen a lot.
I mean, I felt threatened. Like I felt very nervous going into that encounter, even when there was only one of them, and then when two more stepped out, I was like, "Oh shit!" So, I mean, I felt very threatened, especially when the thing did 11 damage to me on the very first attack.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
15 to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say though that I think this was my favorite session so far in terms of like we're in a totally extraplanar space. It would seem like learning the rules of that space, just getting to kind of explore how Reese would interact, because I mean, for me, Reese just absolutely adores everything paranormal. It just gets so excited by everything, even when it's really dangerous. So I just really enjoyed being in that headspace.
Of course. Yeah.
With Reese. And also just Reese is like totally enamored with how Ava's powers work.
I mean,
so
I would be too if she just Kamehameha'd something to death. I mean,
If Dragon Ball Z was currently around, then.
yeah. So
technically,
this
it's
is
still airing.
So yeah, this was my favorite session so far. I just really loved the exploratory, learning the paranormal elements, and I mean, I didn't exactly enjoy being a massive asshole. I was just playing that role to be.
yeah, you know. Yeah.
I mean, you're playing the character, not even your character, technically.
There you go. Yeah.
I was just playing to be as convincing as that character, as that friend. Really not a friend.
Really
just
not
a
a
familiar
friend.
asshole.
No.
Not a friend.
But so yeah, I loved this session. I had a blast.
Well, that's good, because there will be, obviously, the more cases we get into, the more of this sort of like weird extra dimensional kind of space stuff is going to happen, right?
I'm finding out right now that Cullen just needs grenades.
Sure.
And that's mainly because of being a sapper, because I get advantage on demolition checks. So throwing a grenade is the best way to do damage for my character.
So what you're saying is you want future sessions to be in tightly packed public areas.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because here's the thing, my character also creates splash damage. like extra splash damage that
Yeah.
cannot be
Oh.
avoided.
Oh,
What type of damage is the splash damage? That sounds like something PLUM should give us resistance to.
Oh, piercing. Something that I am resistant to.
Nope.
It's called
B energy.
it's called shrapnel. Yeah.
Let me read
Nails.
the.
Some bolts.
Okay. Yeah. So the long walk is the feat, and it's beginning when you choose this archetype at 3rd level. You have advantage on intelligence demolition checks, which intelligence is the only way I attack because of my savant ability.
Hmm.
But additionally, anytime you make an attack with a weapon with the explosive property, such as grenades or rockets, demolitions, you gain damage bonus equal to your level. This includes both direct attack rolls when imposing dexterity save.
Wow.
Sorry,
Okay.
and when dexterity save. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't hit you or not. If you're close enough to the explosion, you still take my level in damage.
Okay. Well, that's dangerous.
Boom.
Okay.
good stuff. Yeah, I definitely liked the session. Was a good run there. I guess I'm looking forward to seeing more interaction with like the life events and all that stuff we rolled up. Granted, that's kind of hard to do when we're in an alternate dimension, but
Sure.
as we move,
Just a wee bit.
just a wee bit, yeah.
Hey,
One of our
Colin could
enemies
escape
has.
from the British government here.
Because yeah, we do have like a rogues gallery for this crew,
Yeah,
and other fun things to dig into with time.
yeah, part of this
Yeah.
case is very, very introductory, right? And what I
Yeah.
want to do after this case is finished, which we're obviously closing in. I'd like to touch base with everybody and make sure that I've got, a record of all of those life events that you've rolled and some basic character stuff, so that I have something on my end that I can pull from, just to make sure that I've got, all my ducks in a row. So
Yeah, I look forward to
good.
like learning more about everybody's backstories.
Yeah.
And having those complications come and screw us.
It's fun, yeah.
It's also adds like the nice dramatic twist and everything like that, because like in all honesty, like as far as like sarcastic and shit our characters all are, I kind of see them becoming really cohesive. Mainly just because of the way I guess all our characters are initially. So coming up with life events that could be threatening, it's going to be interesting to see how far they do each other.
yeah.
I like the atmosphere in the jungle. Not really jungle, but whatever that brush.
Might as well
was
have been.
cool.
So
Yeah.
cool thing, when you actually mentioned the feeling of dread, the hair actually did stand up on the back of my neck.
Effective.
That's one of
Yeah.
it's one of my many powers.
You guys got like gin malaria instead of super tetanus.
Yeah.
Oh, super tetanus.
Oh, boy.
Super tetanus, what?
Yeah. Let me just say that I'm glad that none of you took an extended expedition into the foliage.
Does it matter? I guess it would be slight spoilers if we had the suits on.
It would slow your demise.
Ah,
There you go.
So what you're telling me is the suits are semi-worthless because they really didn't help with the storm column either.
Yeah.
So in
I
other
would
words,
expect-
Dr. Sweet, you don't know what you're talking about.
In
Maybe.
this particular extra dimensional space, no.
It's not like they're meant to protect against everything.
can only go so far.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining me again. I hope you had a good time. I hope
Thanks, man.
Ross's grandmother's going to have a good time watching this later. And with that, let's wave goodbye. Bye bye, everybody.